this privatization of stress. It's normalized. Like, the fact that young people are depressed, who gives a shit? Like, this is the idea. Young people are depressed, that's just part of life. It wasn't part of life. Like, it was not part of life. The increase of the depression amongst young people is shocking. And, that ought to be the biggest possible indicator of condemnation of the world in which we're now living. It wasn't normal for young people to be depressed in the 70s, let's say. I just can't impress this. You've been deprived of things. You've been deprived of things, and the things that you've been deprived of are being sold to you as benefits. It's a great new world. You've got all this stuff. You've got all this capacity to do things. It just isn't like that. And so for Berardi, the argument is, why did 90s was a decade of the emergence of cyberspace and of Prozac? And for him, there's two things that are totally related together. How did people cope with these new level of demands that were placed upon them? They started to take antidepressants, which are now very common, particularly amongst young people. Antidepressants as a hazing thing, which you can hear this like this downer haze. That's why Drake is really interesting. The new Drake record, full of this kind of electro downer haze. Everyone's on downers now to cope with just cyber blitz, whether it's antidepressants or other forms of kind of self-medication, in order to cope with this. And the thing is that there's a breakdown at the end of the 90s, according to Berardi. There will be a breakdown. We cannot cope with this. We cannot cope with it.